good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys at. It's your boy Goke Taiwo, C89 Tigers, Comlag. Thank you again for watching our show, and please always remember to like, share, and also subscribe to our show. We always appreciate the views and also the comments, and please comment on the show too. We always appreciate the live comments on there when we go in to look at it. So today we have the Millenia set. Two ladies from a Millenia set that Ife will be introducing, so it'll be interesting to hear their perspectives again. So I'll pass it over to Ife to introduce them. Ife, take it away.
Good evening over there. Blessing in London, and Linda Odus in Lagos. My party girl. All right, listen now. Again, my name is Ife Dapolowe, Command Secretary School, Paja, Lagos. Finals house, class of 88. So we're actually dinosaurs. Now we don't get too many millennials in this on this forum, and we're trying to bring more on. So Blessing and Linda actually finished in 2005, right?
Yeah.
2005. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys the floor to introduce yourselves. I'll start with Blessing.
Well, good evening, everyone. Oh, good day, everyone. My name is Blessing Asafra, Scorpion House girl. Then I left from Scorpion to Palm House. I was the health prefect girl 2005. 2000 and actually I'm an SS7, as people will say it. I'm supposed to be a 2004 set, but I'm an SS7. But that's it from me tonight.
Okay. Little dudes. I understand you were a household name in your set. Please.
Hey, what? Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Odus. 2005 set. Octopus House.
That's it?
That's
all right.
all.
So,
yeah, that's all.
Let's start with the fun part. Blessing, I'm going to start with you. Can you define they came about SS7? What does that mean?
Well, SS7 was something given to people who didn't graduate in their particular set. Maybe you're supposed to graduate in a particular set and you're graduating a year after that anyways. And so they do this categorism of saying, oh, they're in SS7, you know, the seclusion of saying, I was your senior, but the fact that I failed doesn't mean you talk down on me, you know.
Oh, really? So there could be an SS8 if they repeated twice within 6 years.
Yes, they did have something like that. We had people who repeated, became our sets, and then repeated again. Then we now became like, no, you know, you had people who repeated. I had a senior who repeated, became my sets. Myself and my senior repeated. We became Linda's sets. So for me, I'm Linda's SS7. For the other person, he's like my SS8. So, but the fact that myself and the SS8 will flow more because, like, we're in the lower class, and then maybe we'll have assignments, we'll click more. We feel down because we are with juniors, a set or two sets below us. So it's kind of sometimes you feel intimidated, or you feel a little bit less than yourself. I just feel that was the word for it as at then. But we didn't really know what was it. It was just our emotions playing on us. That was just it.
So describe your experience from the first day you were dropped off in command.
Well, for me, it happened in September in 1998 when my parents brought me to command Ipaja with a metal box. You know this metal box that had this red stuff, a black metal box that had this red stuff. My mom went to Oshodi to shop. I live in Lagos, Maryland precisely. And my mom went to Oshodi. She bought me this blanket. You know the usual blanket that we have, like kind of like a red, blue, and kind of stripe in between. And then she brought me white bed sheet. You know, I was excited because I saw the list of what I was supposed to take to school, and it was my first experience. I was just 10 years old, and I was going to boarding house, and You know this feeling in your area when you got admitted into boarding house and you tell your neighbors, "Oh, I'm going to boarding school. My mom bought me new socks. They bought me new night wears. 2 pairs. They sold me day wears. I had my own cutleries. I had my own plates and everything." I was quite excited. I wanted to see the other life. And when I got to school, my dad drove me down. Then we're using these Peugeots, and he drove us down to school, and then they did the check-in and everything. I felt I was going to cry because a lot of my friends, when we finished preschool, primary school, then we had this sit down with myself and my friends then saying, "Oh, what will be your experience if you are going to..." Some of my friends went to Queen's College and the rest, but I decided to go to Command because that was what my parents wanted for me. And then when I got there, I was expecting for me to have the nostalgia of crying, but I didn't have that. I was excited because I was leaving home. I had my pocket money. My dad counted my pocket money for me. I was like, "Oh," I think then my pocket money was 500 or so. I can't remember. But it was a whole lot because it was my dad gave me in bits, like 5 naira, 20 naira, so that I can have change to go to the talk shop to get something. I was so excited having my own money, having the plan in my head to say, okay, in a month I'll write down what I've spent, what my expenses was, because I tell you, I was number savvy. I was always number savvy. It was always ringing in my head. I always had a plan for everything. So I was planning, oh, how much will I spend? Okay, this 200 naira. Maybe when I'm going back from going home, I'll have certain amounts. I was so excited about the whole experience and everything. It was something that was fulfilling. Then I met my school mother. I chose my school mother immediately at the ground where my parents brought me. And then I won't mention names, no name calling. And then my school mother walked up to my dad. She was a pretty lady, she had hips and everything. It was exciting. Then she said, "Oh, she was my school mother." Then I looked at her. I was escorted to the hostel with my new bucket. My name was encrypted on it with the
Wait. Hold up, please. Let's back it up. How did she become your school mother? Your very first day.
Well, she was standing there and my dad spoke to her. He needed someone to take care of his daughter. And my dad was a charming man anyways, but as at then I knew something was up. The lady just walked up to my dad and I was like, "Oh, really?" That was when it struck into me that something was up, and she just walked on. She had these hips, her daywear was tight and her shapes were all out, and I was like, I was actually upset the fact that she came to my dad. I was like, what's happening here?
What class was she? What class was she?
She was in SS3.
Okay.
She was in SS3 as of 1998. I won't call names.
I didn't say she was. I just wanted to know what class.
Yeah, she was in SS3 then, and she walked up to 98 in 98. Maybe she was in SS7, but I won't say so.
Maybe.
She was in Palm House. She was actually in Scorpion House then. And then she walked up with her day all tight and everything. She treated me nice, and my dad gave her some money for actually obliging to take care of me, which was a kind gesture, and it made her happy. When someone's parents give you a tip to take care of their child, it makes them feel this sign of fulfillment. So I felt safe when my dad tipped her, and she was petting me. Everybody had to carry my stuffs on their head. This stuff that you were now treated like I don't know who's watched this movie, Coming to America, where they carry all the whole load on their head. They just packed my stuff back to the hostel. I was so excited. It was something that gave me joy. The excitement was too much. I was like, I told my dad, "Bye, I'm going. I'm going. Bye." I just left him and I went with my.
Question: did your mom come with you? Did your mom come with you on that?
Yeah, my mom came with me. My mom is a soft person. She's soft. She doesn't take my mom is not something that pays too much attention to all those kind of things. She's a very simple person, so she didn't feel that
anything. 10-year-old, you paid attention.
I paid attention because I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Your husband is in trouble.
Yes, I'm overprotective of my dad. My dad even knows.
At 10 years old.
I am, yeah. I am.
Are you the firstborn?
About me.
Are you the firstborn? No wonder.
Yes. No wonder. Protective about me.
Is your dad a military officer?
He's not, but people in my area feel he is, but he's not. But the way he groomed us to be this kind of strong-willed person, this upright and everything. So I was always judging his every move because he was always judging ours. And when you make this kind of thing where you go out with your dad to somewhere and maybe there was a guy there and you just smile like, because of you saw the guy there, you're shining your teeth for a guy, and I'm like, I wasn't even looking at the guy. I was just shining my teeth. Like I'm just someone that smiled. So when I saw him shining his own teeth at the lady, I was like, see someone shining teeth. He's this lady. That was just it.
All right, okay. We'll get into your personal life.
No, I just want to ask one quick question. I just want to ask one quick question that you said. You said you and your friends that went to primary school. They talked about the schools you go to, and your friends a lot of them went to Queen's College. So did you guys, when you came home from...
Some of them went to FGC, yeah.
Okay, so when you guys...
meet after when I came home. When we came home, we parted ways after primary school because everybody went their own way. Okay. In 98, the mobile phone thing was not... It was not as rampant as it was now. You have to write letters, you need to know people's address and all that, or maybe meet in church, in place of worship, if you are actually going to the same place of worship. So we lost, if I tell you till date, I can't even remember having any contact with anyone apart from Facebook, where I had to join an alumni of my primary school, and then someone walks up to me. Someone chats me up in my mailbox to say, "Oh, are you Blessing Asapa? We're in so and so class together, And then I met some of my classmate guys. They were in command. I think I met Anu. He was in command. He was kind of my senior. I met some of my classmates, anyways. Yvonne. A lot of my classmates were in command, but they were a year ahead of me, and I was.
Which primary school did you go to?
I went to Maryland Convent Private School, Maryland.
Okay.
So it was coming from like a body to a, it was hard for me, as
what I was trying to find out is that if you compared your experiences with them that went to federal government colleges and Queen's College.
Well, for them it was cool. Yeah, for them it was cool because I met someone in church and she told me, her school was, it was a big porch, and then I tell her, do you know people have to lie down on...
You got into the hostel and you were treated like coming to America. All right. When did you start getting your rude awakening? Before you started packing? No, exactly. When did you start facing reality?
When I started facing reality was... My reality story is an interesting one, which if I tell you, everybody will be like, I think Linda should have heard about the story about my reality.
That's what we'll hear. You better start saying.
My reality story came up one time when, I don't know, something happened, and then someone asked me, why is my school mother so protective about me? I was actually upset with the fact that she walked up to my dad and all that scenario, like the scenario I described previously. And I just bluntly told the person, my dad gave her something, and I think she is good to share about that. I don't know, just went to gist, hostel, girls hostel.
Yeah.
And she got to find out, she was so upset. She sent me out of she was staying in the box room. And the box room then used to be like this tush place, like if you're in the hostel and you're staying in the box room, like it's always tush, clean and everything. And then I won't lie, as at 10, because of the gist she heard from her friend, she was so upset and sent me into the hostel. And then another senior came to talk to me in the hostel. When I got to the hostel, I was staying in the middle of the bunk. She said, you go to the hostel and suffer. You see how it is. So I was staying in the middle of the hostel. When you walk into the hostel, it's always messy because people keep walking in the middle. I was annoying and everything. And just imagine me coming from box room, coming into the hostel, and I'm staying in the middle. No one is my school mother. She made sure no one was taking care of me, and she wanted me to feel the impact of her. Yeah, scopeless, and you know the thing. So I was there, I was feeling miserable and everything. God, then something came to my head. As small as I was, I know telling a lie was a bad thing, but I had this notion of, Pimp Your Ride then was raining, as at 98. This Pimp Your Ride with Prince of Bel-Air. We used to watch this Saturday morning show, and then something of Pimp Your Ride just came to my head. One senior just came to me and said, why is this senior always around you? Then I told her where my mom works. Actually, she works with UAC Food. Then they used to bring gala for me every visiting day and all that. So I now told her, I said, my dad has a limousine with swimming pool on top. with 6 tires. Everybody was like, wow, what's happening? That was where it dawned on me that you need to tell a lie to feel among, like, I can't just be in the middle of the bunk and just be floating, you know. And she was like, really, your parents have money. Oh, I'm going to be your school mother. You know, people are not fighting to become my school mother.
Really?
Everybody was like, have you heard of Blessed That's girl that her father has a swimming pool with limousine on top. Everything knew about my story. I made sure my lie was something that every senior knew about, even my mates. So come on, blessing. Is your daddy going to come on visiting day with that his car that has swimming pool on top? I said, they'll come ask me how many doors. This one will ask me how many doors. I'll say, oh, our limousine has 4 doors. Another person will come and ask me. I'll say, okay, I think I need to play on these people's intelligence. Come and ask me. I'll say, oh, it has 6 doors with swimming pool on top. How many tires? You know, I was really giving different version. As small as I was, my brain was thinking, because I knew I needed a plan of survival. That was my plan of survival, because if I didn't tell that lie at that point, I had 2 elder ones in command then. So I had by class, since they told me to school, I was like, look at all these people, the way they are doing, their day was tight and all that. So my elder brother was like, don't worry, that you have some guys, like 2 course command. It's okay. No problem, I can cope. So we carried our box, everything. They were like, inspection. I was like, I cannot bring out my pants. How do I bring out my pants? I can't. They were like, you have to bring it out, to bring cutleries and all that. I was like, okay, no problem. They did everything. They were like, okay, they will put us in the same dormitory. That was I and my stepsister. Oh, got to the hostel. I was like, okay, let's go and meet Gardiner. Let's tell them bye-bye. They're like, okay, let's go. Maybe we got outside. My mom was like, be a good girl. She was just advising me. I said, no problem. Maybe I just started the vehicle. Just crying, I want to go back home. I don't like this place. My mom was like, actually, you want to go to a boarding school now. I said, okay, no problem. Let me try. I enjoyed my junior days since I had elder ones. But my senior days, oh no, it was terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Hold on. Tell us, and you were a little rascal. So what happened? What was it?
I was not rascal. I was not. Seriously, I was not.
Tell us what happened now.
Okay. It started well, you know they used to use iron now to prepare indomie. I was sleeping. When I woke up in the midnight, I was like, I want to roll. So I woke my friend up, Latifat, and Elizabeth were like, let's go and use ourselves. So I saw somebody preparing indomie. I was like, well done, no. So when we went to use ourselves, we came back, I slept on. The next day, I just said, Ayo is calling you. I was like, Ayo, what's my business with Ayo? When I just got to his office, the man didn't even tell me what I did though. He gave me 36 strokes of koboko. Hey, 36. I was like,
hold on, 36.
36.
A little girl. On a little girl.
Yeah, so I was in HS2 then.
Wow. You're still a little girl, you're a teenager.
I was like, sir, what have I done? He said, I prepared indomie. I said, indomie. Naturally, I don't eat indomie since it's cold on. And I'm even scared to even iron, not to talk of bending the iron. So he gave me some lists that I go and call these people. Later I got to their classes, I was like, oh, he's calling all of you. They were like, what happened? I said, they said, we ate indomie. They're like, indomie. Oh, God, there. We flogged them just 6 and 12. I can't even remember. So they said, suspension. That we should go home and call our parents. Hey, I just kept crying. I kept my hand on my head. I said, my mom, she's a no-nonsense lady. So when I go home, I didn't even enter. I just hide myself at the gates. So my other was like, come in now, come in, what happened? I said, they gave me suspension. My other brother was like, because of that one, not today. So I was like, okay, no problem. When my mom comes back, she just tell her that I'm not feeling for that. That's why I came home. In the midnight, not knowing my other brother, so he told my mom that, they give your picking suspension.
My mom just woke me up. Better slap. Hey, stand up. Mama, what happened in your school? I was like, mommy, they said we should call you. I call me for what? They said we ate. What is they said? Did you eat indomie? I said, I did not eat indomie. No. They're like, you sure you did not eat indomie? I said, I did not eat indomie. She said, okay, no problem. So when we're going back to school on Monday, if anybody my mom is sick, she will shout, oh no, sir, she go eat indomie. I was like, oh, what kind of nonsense is this? So we got to school, we met the stupid AO. He was drinking tea. Now I told my mom should come and take. My mom was like, don't worry, that's not why I'm here. I was like, okay, that this is your daughter. She prepared indomie. I was like, me indomie. I said I did not eat indomie. But when I told AO that you should give me 24, I was like, mommy, after 36. Yeah, so that you should give me an additional 24. It was like, no, that she was even the one I beat more. That it seems I know her parents are going to be very strict and all that. My mom said, okay, henceforth, that please take care of her. I was like, of that matter. I said, okay, no problem. From there, in the morning, you just hear, where's Linda Odus? I must see AO first. Before anything, okay, I was just trying, not until I got to SS3. Oh, I met RSM. Oh, my life was difficult in command, my SS3 days. Because I was dating somebody I was doing Gafadeli then. RSM was like, I'm very gentle. That how come that I have a boyfriend? I was like, I said, I don't have a boyfriend. I won't go. We're doing mock then. The man just called me. Where's Linda Odus? I came out. RSM beat hell out of me. So he told Linda Odunaka, ex-prefect then, that he should bring me to the office. I was like, hey, only me? I went to the office. RSM flogged me. RSM flogged. Even the mark set is still at the back of my lap and my leg. So when I got there, he flogged him. I was like, maybe this is what I'm going to go through in SS3. During prep time, he would tell me I should leave small dining, come to big dining in front of him and read. And you know now when you're in front of RSM, even his eye, you can't even read. I will just be there. By first reading, RSM will now say, okay, bring your book. Let me ask you questions. Hey, I'll say, God, sir, I have not read anything. I just want to start. That's how we have been doing. Even if you want to go for maybe food or something, we just come from Linda Odus, kneel down there. From there, start losing friends. You see, Odus, I don't want to follow you work out. I beg you, I don't want trouble. That's how it was been doing. I was like, why is this one doing like this one? So one visiting day, Benga's mom, because she usually traveled to US, Canada, anywhere. So she bought in t-shirts and wristwatch. So the mom was like, give it to RSM. So when I was like, mommy, no, I won't give it to RSM. Now look at what RSM did to Linda. So the mom was like, don't worry, I'm going to talk to RSM. So when RSM was passing, he just said, that was his family. It's been long I saw you and all that. She was like, I used to send Benga to you. She now said, that Benga reported you to me. We're like, okay, share your way, because she told him that, your mommy knew. That was the day RSM stopped flogging me. But it was too late already because it was just 1 month to when I'm going to pass out. I was like, let me just accept my fate like that. But I enjoyed my junior days than my senior days. I had a terrible one because every day flogging, every day, and nobody that would tell me doesn't know me that would just, because I was very popular, very popular, very popular. But it was fun. I love command. Command is a very good place to attend. But Jack Oboko, oh no, it was terrible. I didn't practice.
What was your RSM's name? What was your RSM's name?
I've even forgotten. Blessing, can you help me out? Because I've forgotten. Kende, yes, Kende.
Yeah, okay.
It was Kende.
So was the RSM a new command RSM after your AO? Because you said the AO was one. Was he there when that AO dealt with you?
Yes, RSM was around since '98.
So they passed. So after one dealt with you, the other one continued.
Yes, so SS2, SS3.
Wow.
But it was
Okay.
fun, though. It was fun.
In your senior years, you're supposed to
said
be
the AO
enjoying.
dealt with her.
Yes, now just because of Indomie.
No, I know. What I'm trying to say is that normally most people during our time, actually, unless you are really notorious, in your senior days you're more relaxed and enjoying. But your junior days is where you're more scared of your seniors that they deal with you, right?
I
Nowadays.
was not scared because I had elder ones. So I enjoyed my junior days.
Oh, okay. Well, in our generation, it was a bit different. Like we were more scared of our seniors. In our senior days, not really. Unless you are notorious and RSM knew you.
No, I was not notorious. No, I was not. No, ISM used to know me like a very quiet person. See, so he was surprised, like, you quiet, have a boyfriend. And then that one is not a boyfriend because just normal command stuff now. Not even up to 1 month though.
Before you're mute.
And I don't really. You said?
No, it was.
Okay, Linda, they catch you for space now. My enemy can be your boyfriend.
They don't be like that. They don't already announce like I like this person. No, I had so many toasters then. At least if I'm not making it, they reach like 6. So at least 6 of them.
So 2 questions. First of all, who reported you to AO that you ate Indomie when you did not eat Indomie? Did you find that out?
I didn't know to date. We don't even know the junior.
It was a junior that reported.
Yes, he only told us it's a junior that reported. That was all. He did not even tell us that this is the person or something.
So because of Indomie, the noodles became a household name in your set.
No, I mean, I was not popular like that.
That's the genesis now. The genesis was noodles that got into AO's trouble Alright.
Well, I was popular then, right from my sister.
Okay, let's get back to Blessing. Blessing gets us some more gist for us. So Blessing. Is Blessing still there? Okay,
yeah, she's there.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so when you now became a senior,
giving myself some sort of security. I could remember after telling my big lie, then people started finding out. They wanted to see my said limousine with swimming pool on top, and they were not seeing it every visiting day. It now became obvious that my truth was a lie.
Wow.
And I became a villain. Everybody was looking at me in a different light. Everybody like, this one, she can lie. She can lie to kill anybody, And but it was something interesting because everybody gave me my chance because they knew that okay, this one, just allow her because what will come out of our mouth next is different. And one thing that was good about me was the fact that I spoke very fluent English, and then we had a lot of children from different backgrounds. They were always speaking pidgin English. It was actually difficult for me at that time to speak pidgin English. I couldn't, but I had to try because I saw myself in a different light. After that experience, after the saga of, I had this secret place. I was always looking fresh. I never did rub and shine. If I have like 4 liters of water, I was like, I will never do rub and shine. That was now my secret place. That secret place came into birth the fact that I had to fetch water from a burst pipe behind Tiger House. I took it to the hostel and my senior used my water. Now what happened? I woke up in the morning. My water was gone. I was so upset. I'm going to school. My water was gone. I wasn't used to spraying the roll-on and the whole perfume thing after bathing. And what the heck? Why was my water gone? And I was just talking on my own, and then they called me out. They flogged me that I stole money. Somebody pinned stealing on me. I was like, that's the last thing I would do. Steal somebody's money. I said, okay, no problem. She flogged me to the extent I had a mark at the side of my collar here. I had a mark on my collarbone. And then I said, having a mark from someone who is not my parents, you flog me. No one has ever flogged me. And you dare flog me. It was so upsetting. It upset me to the extent I was so upset. I just marched. When I wore my clothes, I marched to the RSM's office immediately after assembly and I went there. And when I got to the door, as small as I was, because I was very small, I was very slim. I wasn't this big that you could, I was this lanky thing, and I went to RSM's office with boldness. I'm always very bold. I'm so sorry. I'm bold to a fault.
It's okay.
Yeah, and I went there. I saw the CSM. Then it was CSM Moses. He was at the door, and I said, I want to see RSM. And the man was like, would you go to your class? Yes, sir. It's very urgent. It's life and death. The man was like, life and death. RSM heard me when I said, sir, this is a life and death stuff. Someone might die. And he said, no, let her come in. And I walked into the office. Little me, I was standing in front of her. There's a table here. CSM had a small desk by this side. And I was standing in the middle. And RSM said, what is it? What is your name? And I said, my name is Blessing Asakwa. I came to lay a complaint. The way I presented myself, and I said, this were the words I used. I came to lay a complaint. And he was like, really? I said, he said, what happened? You're supposed to be. I said, sir, I'm emotionally disturbed. I can't be in my class. He said, he was so baffled, like the words that were coming from my mouth. He was like you're emotionally disturbed. And I said, yes, sir. Sir, my life is under threat. He said, what happened? I said, someone took my water. And I was just lamenting in the hostel. And then they flogged me. And I have this mark. Meanwhile, the senior was already coming to RSM's office. But this was the tactics. I went to lay the complaint before she got there. So I was already there laying my complaint. And I made it clear to him. I was so fluent, I didn't pause, I didn't stop I was just saying it like this was it. And they flogged me and all. And then I told him, I said, if I get to the hostel now, I'm dead. Which was true. Then RSM said, okay, CSM, go and get that senior from the class. Called the senior. Flogged the senior, said, wow. I told RSM that, actually, this particular mark on me, I want RSM to give the senior. And RSM was like, RSM laughed. He laughed just like the way you all laughed now. And he was like, because you want me to give the senior that mark? I said, yes, sir. Because if it's God that just saved me that it was this mark. What if it was another place? Because I dodged it. The RSM, I said, sir, it almost came to my eyes. Then I dodged it. Then he went here. And he said, then he went there. He was using it as a joke. He said, then he went there. I said, yes, sir. Actually, my head was like this, and he was laughing. It was funny the way I was talking about it. And then he called the senior. And then he said, okay, you explain. I explained without any. The senior was explaining. She was like, sir. She tried me, sir. I said, sir, help me for that. She was stuttering and everything, and then RSM said, okay, that's fine. When she left, I told RSM, I said, please, you have to escort me to the hostel because my life will not be the same. Anybody that comes to this office, they used to have a bad experience when they go to the hostel. This was how I was telling her. I was saying, sir, please. The man was like, what's wrong with you?
What class were you?
You know what?
What class were you? What class were you at this point?
JS2. I was in Scorpion House. I was in JS2. Yeah, I was in JS2. Okay. Then I told him, I said, sir, please, I cannot go to the hostel. Follow me behind. The man said, this is your detective tactics. I said, sir, we're in military school. We have to play intelligent. The man said, what about the security? I said, sir, I'm going to die do you want me to die? He said, no, I don't want you to die. So RSM listened to me. He hid at the back of the gate. I got into the hostel gate. Yeah, the boss that I was Nigerian too. I came in after eating in the dining hall. I came into the hostel. As I just came in, all the seniors were just there in front of that big tap. The tap welcoming you into the game. They were there with their buckets, waiting for me. Different kind. They piled it up. I said, yes, me if I ready for that today. Now me and that today. I told RS, I said, wait. If I do my hand like this, then you will come inside the gate. I was waiting there. I said, these people, I'm ready for you. You want to kill me before my time? I must survive this school. And then sorry.
You set trap for them. You set a trap.
Exactly.
Yes. And then I want to do that. And then I was
notorious than I do.
I wasn't notorious, but it's just that I had to use my brain at some point because I didn't need to come out to fight you. I didn't need to fight your shouts.
Hey, bless it.
You just do something.
I'm getting very impatient. I want to hear this. Keep going.
Calm down. But I have too many experiences to share.
This one, I want to hear this one.
Okay, now I got to tell the whole buckets were there waiting for me. The seniors were there. God bless his soul, RSM Kende. He's late now. God bless him. He was someone that loved me so much. He hid at the back of the gate. And then I got there, they piled. I received all the old buckets. They piled it. I said, this man must seize this bucket today. They piled everything. They were just piling it. Pile upon pile. I will finish you. Next time in your life, you will not go and report a senior again. In your lifetime, when you come to this school, you will know. They were just talking. I said, see all these people, you are just bluffing. In my mind, I was saying, oh, you people, you are just bluffing. These people, I will deal with you people today. They piled the bucket. I allowed them. They piled all the buckets. The bucket was taller than me. I held all of them. They say, me, I'm in so hostel. Fetch this water and bring it to me. Do this and do this thing. Do that and that. Another one came with spoon, gave me spoon, that she used spoon to fetch water. I said, me, use spoon to fetch water. I said, okay, no problem. All of you will sit today. I collected the spoon. The whole bucket were there. When they finished, all of them were still there, giving me their instruction. I just did my hand like this. RSM just came. All of them.
So RSM could see you.
They were anyway.
Now you trying to tell me that
actually
RSM could hear everything.
What was happening because I wasn't Mike. Sorry.
No, maybe he could see what was happening from wherever he was happening.
Just at the gate. I just needed to give him the signal.
How come they didn't see him? How come the seniors didn't see him?
He was behind the gate. The gate was closed. You know, you could come out naked with your wrapper.
I can hide. You didn't see him.
You could come out with your your nice. Yeah, one gate was closed. He was just there, and only me knew he was there. People that were walking in knew RSM was there, but they didn't know why RSM was there. He was just there. You know, he was just standing on his own watching. They didn't know. People that were entering didn't know something was up inside the hostel, or those seniors were attacking me or something. But everybody was like, they all ganged up from different houses. I said, yes, today. If I didn't do that plan, I swear to God, I would have been a dead meat. I said today was my day. But in as much as it was my day, I'm going to shine on this day. You know, I piled all the buckets. When ISM just came, all of you kneel down there. They all missed. Kill the jackpot immediately. All of them missed. Everybody scattered. I say, all these people. Meanwhile, I made sure they gave me all their instruction. They gave me all their instructions, where their hostel was and everything. So when they finished giving me their instructions, they all jackpot. RSM said, I said, sir, all the RSM called so that they packed all the buckets first to RSM's office.
Wow.
They packed all the I made sure they piled all the buckets. Any senior that will watch this video and remember what happened that time is going to be after, because we are all in a different dimension, and sorry, no one can hurt me anymore. Even if it was in that section, I would still do what I did then. It was a survival act. I'm so sorry. And then
you be Navy SEAL. You bring the American backup.
They packed the whole bucket, and then RSM said, what happened? I said, sir, I told you, I told you. These people were out for me, and he said, yes. I can't see that they were really out for you. Thank you. You're a smart girl. You're a smart girl. Can you remember? I said, sir, I know their hostel. I will take you to all their. They told me all where they are, that I should bring their bucket. We went to their hostel to go and start looking for them one by one. Wow. I got all of them out. I don't know the punishment they gave to them, but I shall know whether they led them to the guard room or something, or they cleared the grass or something. I can't remember what happened to them anyways. But everybody started giving me my space, you know. This one. Leave them. Just leave them. We'll make it.
That's going to lead us to the next question. So I think it's kind of obvious. Like, what had an impression on you when you were in command, good or bad? I think you have a lot of bad people that had bad impression on you, right?
My peers had bad impression of me because my own mates, they were like, this girl, she's too uptight. I was someone that even if my Gary finished, I wasn't going to beg you to give me Gary. I'd rather sleep hungry than to ask you to give me something. I'm not saying what had bad impression of you. What had a bad impression on you? Who had a bad impression on me? Good or bad? Yeah, I know you've already mentioned these seniors that were very, they have a negative impression on you. Anybody that had any good impression on you at all? Well, good impression, I can't say because I'm an indifferent. Wait, let's go back. RSM. He had a good impression. RSM had a good impression on me, yes, that was understandable. The whole school knew me, knew there was RSM. Linda, you can testify to that. If RSM wants to say something, he used me as an example. Oh, you can see Blessing.
Yes, you say
he was always
is a good girl.
He was always holding me up tight.
So
I wasn't in any bad.
Blessing, were you really a good girl? Did you go to space?
I never had a boyfriend. Sorry, I detested that so much.
Yeah,
I detested that because from JS2.
Oh, wait now. Did you sneak out of school?
What? Did I what?
Did you sneak out of school?
Did I sneak out of school? Yes, I did sneak out of school, but
you're really a good girl now.
No, listen, hold on. Let me take you back to that scenario. I did sneak out of school. I was in good books of RSM, and everybody at the gate, the security at the gate knew me. This was a security breach. They knew me because sometimes RSM would say, "Go and call me Blessing." You know, I will come to the gate. You know, sometimes you just want to sit down with students chatting while he's at the gate. You know, and then I'll just be there. So on this fateful day, we were writing junior WAEC precisely. We were in GS3, myself and a friend of mine and two other friends of mine. And they were like, Blessing, how far? Edak, till today, I don't know where that girl is. I'm still trying to locate her, but I really don't know where she is. And they're like, how far? All these people at the gate, they know you now. How far? You know, I get to the gate and I want to go and buy fufu. I don't sneak. I pass the gate legally. I'll just tell the security I'm going to buy this, and they allow me. So I wouldn't say that was a sneaking. Yeah, I was.
All right. That's you guys.
So where were you buying? Wait, quick question. Where were you buying fufu? Where were you buying fufu?
No, Bacha. I think that was Bacha. We used to call it Bacha.
I don't know if it was Bacha. No. There was a place
as an outside
outside the gate where they sell fufu, and then my mates knew that I had influence on the security. They would always give me money to please help me buy
But always was outside the gates now.
I don't know the name. No. This one was outside the gate. This one was outside the gate by your left. You know that road
into the village.
Left hand side.
You know the right was leading in. Not into the.
Let me give you a landmark. Let me give you a landmark. It was by the side of the auditorium, further down. The auditorium, you go further towards the first gate.
Yes.
Towards the first gate.
That's where they sell fufu.
That's where.
Bacha. They did that during our time.
Bacha during our time now.
No, now.
From
the back side.
No.
This one was outside the main gate.
Okay.
Outside the main gate.
Okay, I don't think I went to that one. I don't remember that one.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's move to Linda real quick. Linda, what are the impression on you? Good or bad?
Good. Everybody.
Wait now. The guy that flowed you 38 strokes or 36 strokes had a good impression on you.
Yes, now that one is just normal thing. So he had good impression.
It's normal to see 36 strokes as a 17-year-old girl.
That's one thing about them is first to see.
Are you different too?
Well, it was more or less like
that does not mean
if they knew you, that doesn't mean they hated you. It's just that when they loved you, they have an influence on you, you know. That was
about this person, that's it.
Okay, I'll be back to back to you. This question, I think I can answer the question for you already, but I want you to say it in your words. Because you seem to be very bold, elusive at 10-year-old. So how did command mold you from that age to who you are today as a young lady?
Well, I would say, thank God to command, I became outspoken. I was this timid and naive child. I was always scared because, at 10 years old, the fact that I looked at my dad and like in my mind, I was like, I was this quiet person, even in preschool. They were always beating me, you know. I never played in primary school, you know. I never had a fun time. During break, I was always serious because my dad wanted me to like be the top of my peers. He was always on my case. I had this low self-esteem, you know. When you do too much to a child, you bring them down. So I think when I came to command, it broadened my horizon. That's when I woke up to myself to say, oh, I had these potentials. Me coming to command was like an escape route of always being at the throat of my dad, always saying, "Oh, in the middle of the night, you have to read your book till 12 o'clock. You put your leg in water." That's what we did back in the village. Then we on the candle and read the thing. You know, it was always on me. My dad was an accountant, so he was like, you need to know your book. Like you need to always know it. My dad can be someone, he just come ask you a question. My dad was brilliant. You know, he was handsome, he was brilliant. So, you know, he wanted his children to be like that. You know, he wanted to see this shining stuff in us. So me coming to command, seeing a different radical life that I was not used to. And even in command, it was as bad as I couldn't enter bus home. Driver had to come in. It was embarrassing. I remember one time my friends laughed at me. Just like you asked me what was the name of the canteen. Sorry, I don't keep those kind of names in my head. Do you know Ayobo? I was like, I don't know. They were like, you don't know this place, you don't know this bus stop. My friends now lured me. We went on a bus ride with my driver. My driver came. That one actually came late, actually. So I just said, okay, let's shank it now. Let's enter bus, go and show our daddy that we have arrived. I got home. I got the beating of my life. My father said, what if something happened to you? And I have motion sickness, whereby if I enter a vehicle, I throw up. So I always have with sweet or a nylon to always puke in when I'm always having the motion sickness thingy thing. So my dad was, I still do have motion sickness. Well, I don't know, maybe on my wedding day I might puke on my wedding gown. I don't know.
How do you fly? And all that kind of stuff.
Well, funny enough, I eat a lot when I'm on motion. To keep myself stable, I try to eat and I try to relax, be on a calm mood, like try to sleep. I'm not sleeping, but I just try to keep myself relaxed so that my mood.
So have you been on a boat before? Have you been on a boat or a ship before? Why?
I served in Bonny Island. See, funny enough, I have this motion sickness, but I've done the most adventurous thing. I'm an adventurous person. So the only thing
because it affects you that on boats a lot. That's what.
It does, Bob. I was able to manage myself. I'm always with a nylon anyways when I'm traveling. I'm always with my nylon. I'm always with sweets, you know, to just keep myself accompanied. When I want to puke, you won't even know. I just puke, take sweet, and I'm okay. And you know, I got home that day. See me shining my teeth that I got home with on a bus, thinking I did my father a favor. I got home. The kind of beating I received, and there was nobody in command that ever flogged me like that. I came back to school with marks, bruises on my body.
Wow.
Seniors were asking me, did you steal? Did you go to the market square? I said, no, it's my father that beat me. It's a lie. Bless my talker, you must have done something. You lied too much. Because I was known for lying. Nobody believed the thing I was saying.
Right, exactly.
The fact that it came that my parents actually beat me, it was not like someone beat me because they knew nobody could beat me. When going back to your word, asking me if I had a good influence, I think I had a good influence on everybody, whether negative or positive. It was actually good because everybody wanted to key into me, like everybody wanted to listen to me, even in class, you know, even in the hostel. You know, when I want to give one serious lie, everybody's ears like, I didn't talk too much. Point of correction, I didn't talk too much, but I could fight for the most silly thing. I remember when we newly came, like going back to when you asked me when I newly came into boarding house, they were calling me Asapa then, my surname. And then I remember one of my friend, she's in Canada now, she called me Asapa. We literally fought in dining hall. I was like, you don't have respect. My father's name. You are calling my father's name like that. How would you call me Asapa? You know, I wanted to tear her to pieces. I was like, why would you call me Asapa? You don't have respect for my father. It wasn't a big deal, but me, like I said, I was naive. Everything was coming up. I would tell you, emotionally, I was traumatized because now I could understand what was happening to me then. As little as I was absorbing too much things. There were too much things for me to absorb. And I didn't really mean to snap at her that day. But it was the fact that it was already too much. And I just needed to explode. And I just exploded on her. And it just went off. And everybody, we were friends. And everybody was like, Blessing, come on now, come on. It's just, I said, no, don't call me my father's name. It was terrible. But I tell you.
Okay, so let me get back to you. I'll get back to you soon. Linda Odus, you still there?
Yeah, I am here.
So how command take mold you now? Because you dey quiet too. When we talk about backyard, you have always say do some bad things for command. Alright, so how command take mold you from small pikin to big girl? How you take mold you?
Big girl.
Yeah, you're a grown woman, right?
Well,
From a teenager to a
let
grown
me
woman.
just say, not a grown woman though, because I just had this feelings that nothing like that, nothing. Command did not do anything to me.
Are you serious?
Nothing. Not mold me. Yeah.
So as you do for 13-year-old, now so you still there, you dey tell us.
I'm this kind of person. I'm very quiet. I'm a very quiet person. That's one thing about me. So command did not mold
Blessing.
me.
Was Linda really quiet in school?
Like I said, I wasn't really into the assets. Linda never fell in my
that's
trap
true.
when I was a senior. And
Okay, that's true.
I don't think
That's
Linda, I
that's
don't
true.
think we ever had any encounter when you were my
No, no, no.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you guys did it because it would have been a very funny show. If you did.
No, it should have not been a very funny show because funny enough, I knew how to handle situations. Funny enough.
Okay,
I always made my juniors know that I wasn't, because I hated, one thing I hated when I came in was the maltreatment. And for me, I wouldn't want to maltreat anybody. Even while I called in, I was terrible at flogging. I never used it as an intimidation threat to people because I knew I had this strength. So I never got into it. They were not my children, they were not my siblings. I didn't feel I had the right to flog them. But I won't tell you, 1 or 2 times I got upset because they were taking my kindness to being stupid, and 1 or 2 times I had to flog. And when I flogged, when Blessing Asapa wants to flog, it was not nice. You better not be there, because if you are there, it will not be easy. You will remember that in your head for a long time, so
Okay.
for me
Wow.
it was more of like being my dad, being the
So
disciplinary person.
I get one more question for Anna. I get one more question. I know you guys are not mothers yet. So
Okay.
if you
We are
become a
mothers. Who
mother,
says we are not mothers? I'm a mother. I have kids
I'm
around
sorry.
everywhere.
Okay. All
My
right.
husband will be my son. So
Okay, good. All right. So let's
Wait. What do you mean your husband is going to be your son? You're going to chase your brother away.
that will be my first son. What do you mean?
Don't start with that girl right now. We'll go be here forever. Don't start. All right. Okay. If will you send your child to command? Will you send your child to command based on your experiences in command? Will you send your children to command? Starting with Linda. Answer that question. If you have a child, will you send your child to command to go and take 36?
No,
And why?
no.
Why not?
Why? Because since I don't know anybody there that's going to take care of my child, I don't want the child to go through all those stress I went through or other people went through.
Right,
Yeah, I don't want it. So no.
Okay. Blessing.
Well, for me, it's the opposite. I want my child to go to command, to experience his or her own life, to be able to be groomed. I'll tell you, command made me to be this strong person I am. Like I said, when I was in preschool, I was never outspoken. I was never this bold to talk to people. But the experiences I had in command shaped me to be able to survive in any circumstances, even while I was in the university, while I was serving. You couldn't even. After I left command, I think after the saga of stealing my bucket, I never bought bucket again. Any body's bucket I see, I will just put my name on it. It becomes like things were not big. Command taught me the sense of belonging, that things don't get wasted for me. Then we had this incinerator, people go to pick things. For me, when I went to the university, though I went to a private university, no doubt, we bought buckets when we newly came. But
Which school did you go to?
I went to Madonna and I went to Igbinedion. Sorry. So when I got to Millenia the first time, I remember we bought buckets. After then, if you come to my room, I can have like 30 buckets. That was command instinct coming. Any bucket I see belongs to me. My name.
I'm surprised. They did not beat you. They did not come after you.
Finishing from command. Finishing from command. After
maybe the people that came there, all of them came from better schools, Abi.
That's what it seems like.
Came from where?
Better schools.
They came from better schools. But that doesn't mean, even now in the UK, I don't even see any of my colleagues talking down on me. I finished from command. Come on. You want to play on my self-esteem. It can't happen. It cannot happen. You
become army of one.
The funniest part was that even in my area, it spoke in my area. In my area, when I went to command, I came back. You know this girl, I became this snob on the streets that if you even tell me you're my older than me, you tell me blessing. You saw me, you did not greet me. And I'm like, you know, when we're in school, they gave us this counseling, guidance and counseling, telling you can also see a child and talk to the child and tell the child, hello, how are you? Good morning. You know, courtesy the man. You come and ask me, blessing, you did not. I'm like, didn't you see me first? Why didn't you greet me? You want me to greet you? Is it always me that will greet you every time? And I remember the last day I greeted you, did not answer me, so I kept my greeting to myself. You know, I became this notorious person. The command shaping me in an area that, in every aspect of my life, I want my children to experience it. Anyways, if they are in Nigeria, I want them to go to command so that they can be strong for themselves. They can be strong to build on their own. Because I tell you that if I didn't go to command and I went to a different school, I wouldn't have known this aspect of me. I wouldn't have been strong for myself. Life is a battlefield on its own. And the things I learned from command made me to see life in a different perspective. As little as I was, my experiences in command and relating them to real life experiences, they shaping my brain. They broaden my horizon about how people think, how their mind. Like I told you, I was 10, I could remember telling a lie because I knew how the psychology of people. I became as a psychological expert. I started thinking about how the psychology of people work, how they think, how they perceive you, how you put yourself together. Coming from command, I don't even think there's any of my siblings, hold on, that was stopped on the road by SAS saying, oh, you're in a particular level.
I have one more question for you now. So, what do you do right now?
What do I do?
I was going to ask that question. So, what did you study in university? Let's start with what did you study in university? Is it psychology?
I didn't study psychology. I did a little bit of psychology. I studied accounting.
Okay.
From accounting, I have a BSc in accounting.
That's very unfortunate.
It's not unfortunate, sorry. Like I said, I was very good with numbers and planning. So something for me was numbers. Something for me is value for money.
So are you not a shrink?
For me is, I'm not a shrink. I won't say I'm a shrink.
So what do you do?
I am still an accountant. I work in a care business.
You were actually in school. You were actually still doing some studying.
Yes, anyway. I'm studying. Everybody is a work in progress. Study doesn't finish. Funny enough, I have a master's in risk management. I have a BSc. I don't know why I keep studying, but you know, you have to evolve as time comes. You have to be in your league.
You know why I asked the question. You know why I asked the question. You know why I asked you. I think you into these you have this genius in you, and I don't call it evil. I think it's more intellectual.
Release this, have your set mates and the 2000 sets see this, and we'd like to have a couple of them more over to give us the experience. So please, viewers, subscribe, share, comment. We'd like to hear, and also like also at the same time, like it. So thank you very much, and I'll pass it over to Ife to close it out. Thanks.
Again, thank you, ladies. I know Linda, it's almost midnight over there. Thank you for staying up. A blessing. Thanks for staying up too. I know it's about 10 o'clock over there too, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for staying up. Remember, share this video, subscribe, spread the word. Linda, you say you have some siblings that want to command. You need to bring them on this show, okay?
No problem.
Okay. So thank you again, ladies. We'll catch up with you guys. All right. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.